Welcome to the Dam Owner Academy, brought to you by the Association of State Dam Safety Officials, or ASDSO, a series of videos to educate and inform on all aspects of operating and maintaining a dam safely. This video will cover seepage, slope stability, and seismic issues on earthen dams. Earthen embankments make up the majority of all dams in the United States. They're usually constructed by placing and compacting horizontal layers of soil called lifts. Earthen dams feature a trapezoidal cross-section with a crest and upstream and downstream slopes. Some embankment dams are built with a clay core and cutoff to reduce the flow of seepage through the dam and its foundation. Many dams feature armoring on the upstream slope to protect against wave action, and some include other internal features such as drains and filters. Owners of earthen dams must be knowledgeable about the specific issues these structures face. Even seemingly minor issues can progress quickly into serious problems if not identified and addressed at an early stage. This video will discuss a few of the most important issues that earthen dams face and how they can be addressed. One of those issues is cracking. Isolated and minor cracks on embankments sometimes result from drying and shrinkage of soils. However, larger cracks can be a sign of movement. Longitudinal cracks, those along the axis of the dam, can indicate the early stages of a slide. Transverse cracks, those perpendicular to the dam's axis, may indicate differential settlement from poor construction or internal erosion. Transverse cracks can also provide an avenue for seepage through the dam. All cracks on a dam should be documented during inspections and tracked over time for changes in size or extents. Minor cracks should usually be filled with compacted soil to prevent water from infiltrating the embankment. Cracks wider than 1 inch indicate a more serious problem and should be investigated by a professional engineer. Slides are mass movements of soil on an embankment slope. They can result from poor compaction during construction, slopes that are too steep, seepage, or seismic activity. Slides are often recognizable from the scarp at the top of the slide and the bulge of soil at the bottom. Shallow slides on an embankment that affect only the top 2 or 3 feet are usually not an immediate threat to a dam's safety. Shallow slides can be repaired by removing vegetation, compacting a suitable fill material into the damaged area, and re-establishing a healthy stand of grass. Deep slides, where a large mass of the embankment or its foundation are mobilized, can progress rapidly and result in catastrophic failure. Depressions are sunken areas on an earthen embankment. They may result from poor construction, decay of organic material within the fill, thawing of soil, internal erosion, or settlement. Small depressions are usually not serious concerns, but they should be monitored over time for changes in size or depth. Large depressions may be a sign that the dam has a weak foundation, poor compaction, or internal erosion. These large depressions may require more diligent monitoring or remediation if they're actively forming or represent a low point in the embankment crest where the reservoir could overflow. Seepage is the flow of water through the soils of an embankment and its foundation from upstream to downstream, driven from the reservoir water pressure. Seepage may be observed as water exiting at the downstream face of an embankment or areas immediately downstream of the dam. Areas of lush vegetation may also be a sign of seepage. Seepage is often exacerbated by penetrations in the structure, such as conduits, outlets, trees, and animal burrows, so pay special attention to these areas. All seepage must be closely monitored because it can erode soil from inside the dam or foundation. Seepage flow rate can be measured using a bucket and stopwatch or by installing a monitoring weir or flume. Some dams have drains meant to collect and filter seepage and reduce the possibility of internal erosion. However, these filters can have defects from construction or deteriorate over time. In the worst case, internal erosion can lead to a phenomenon called piping, where an elongated cavity erodes backward toward the reservoir, eventually resulting in a catastrophic breach. A large number of embankment dam failures have resulted from internal erosion and piping due to seepage. If you observe accumulated settlement, a whirlpool in the reservoir, or muddy water surfacing downstream of your dam, it may be a sign of internal erosion that must be addressed immediately. You should inspect your earthen dam regularly for all signs of seepage or structural instability. In addition, perform a detailed inspection after any severe weather or seismic activity. Regular inspections allow for early detection of concerns before they deteriorate into severe or urgent problems. Make sure you take detailed photographs and, when possible, numerical records of all observations, including the length and width of cracks, depth and size of depressions, and flow rates of seepage. Tracking these values over time will help you recognize conditions that might be changing slowly. Remediation of minor issues like small cracks or depressions can usually be addressed as part of regular maintenance. For more severe problems like slides, cracks wider than 1 inch, sinkholes, or significant seepage, you should consult with your state dam safety program and a qualified professional engineer to help with repairs. In addition, an engineer can help you assess the stability of your dam slopes and susceptibility to earthquakes to help you plan for future rehabilitation or remediation projects. Urgent problems include muddy discharge anywhere on your dam or from the area downstream, indicating active erosion, whirlpools in the reservoir, indicating significant seepage, and rapidly forming cracks, voids, depressions, sinkholes, or bulges, indicating internal soil movement, erosion, or slides. If you observe any of these issues occurring on your dam, implement your emergency action plan immediately to mitigate the problem and evacuate the area downstream as appropriate for the situation. The Association of State Dam Safety Officials has free resources available to help owners operate and maintain their dams safely. Contact your state dam safety program for additional help, and be sure to check out ASDSO's website at damowner.org for more information.